All right, I'm Raelyns. I'm going to show my audience. There's my spot. All right, thank you. Okay, so take a minute to imagine with me. The sky is a beautiful bright pink and the sun setting behind the mountains. And the music seems to make the earth vibrate as it bounces off the canyon walls. And the crowd sways together as if one complete entity. Being a part of a concert crowd at one of Dave Matthews Band's performances has been one of the most moving and inspirational experiences that I've ever had. This book here is called Dave Dances, but this painting is one fan's depiction of a Dave Matthews concert at night. All right, so Dave Matthews Band was formed in 1991 in Charlottesville, Virginia. It originally had 5 members. See it? There's Dave Matthews as the vocalist and guitarist, Leroy Moore on the saxophone, Stefan Lessard as bassist, Boyd Tinsley on the violin, and Carter Beauford as the drummer. Dave Matthews Band seemed to gain instant popularity, mostly among college students in the 1990s. They played at campus parties and they played at local bars. Their fan base grew immensely in a short amount of time. People seemed to love the fact that the band allowed their concert goers to freely tape their shows for their personal use, which is an act that they still allow today. Dave Matthews Band has been writing music for the last 2 decades and performing together. Their music is a mix of jazz and folk. They've won multiple Grammys, have numerous #1 hits, and have displayed a devotion to each other throughout the entire time that they've been a band, which is one of my favorite qualities. Rather than rising to fame in parting ways, they've stuck together through the years. In 2008, the band went through a hard time. They lost one of their members, Leroy Moore, due to an ATV accident. He died tragically and unexpectedly. And at that time, they were working on an album called Big Whiskey and the Groobrooks King, which they ended up releasing later that year as a tribute to Leroy Moore. At that time, Rolling Stone praised the band for pushing in adventurous new directions after suffering a tragic experience and said, quote, "They play as if their lives and yours depend on it," end quote. This group truly strives to positively influence all that they come in contact with. And to them, that means not only reaching people through their art. Their song, "You Might Die Trying," says, quote, "If you give, you begin to live," end quote. And this is a principle that the members of Dave Matthews Band actively display. In 1995, they played at Farm Aid, which was their first large-scale benefit concert. Farm Aid is an organization that strives to keep family farmers on the land. They offer locally grown concessions, a chance to meet local farmers, and hands-on activities related to enriching our soil and protecting our economy. And this is the experience that really opened the door for Dave Matthews Band and their charity involvement. Dave Matthews is currently a member on the Farm Aid board and continues to host and contribute to that annual fundraiser. In 1991, the band started the foundation Bama Works, which is their own nonprofit organization that was intended to benefit programs in their hometown of Charlottesville, Virginia. And they started there donating to local schools, churches, parks, the Boys and Girls Club, and then they eventually branched out to communities surrounding them. They aided in disaster cleanup after Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans and helped tsunami victims in Sri Lanka, as well as started the Haiti Relief Fund. Probably the most widely recognized humanitarian effort of Dave Matthews Band was the conception of the Dave Matthews Caravan, which is an annual festival, a series of concerts across the United States. And during their shows, they implement their plan to offset 100% of carbon dioxide emissions that come from their touring. So they provide on-site recycling bins, natural water purification, and provide food from local farms, as well as hauling out all of their waste. In reference to these efforts, Dave Matthews has said, quote, "I feel like there's hope as long as some people are speaking to the real problem in this country," end quote. In conclusion, there is no doubt that the influence of Dave Matthews Band has been widespread. Through their inspiring music, their charitable endeavors, and contributions, both locally and internationally, they've left a memorable footprint on the hearts of many. The song Mercy, written by Dave Matthews in 2012, beautifully depicts the band's views on humanitarianism. It says, quote, "Don't give up. I know you can see all the world and the mess that we're making. Can't give up and hope that God will intercede. Come on back. Imagine that we could get it together. Stand up for what we need to be, because crime won't save or feed a hungry child," end quote. Dave Matthews is more than good music. They're good people.